We're talking with Lindsey Torre, an epidemiologist with the American Cancer Society. Lindsey, in the United States, are there one or two trends that you see from the cancer data that you study?
One that I'd like to highlight is lung cancer specifically. They're different in men and women. In the US, we're seeing decreasing lung cancer rates in men, and they're starting to decrease in women, but quite recently. Lung cancer trends are primarily due to the tobacco epidemic. We see lung cancer incidence and mortality start to really tick up about 2 to 3 decades after the uptake of smoking widespread in the population. So among men who did start smoking earlier, lung cancer incidence rates and mortality rates increased for quite a while, and then they peaked and started to decline, which is reflecting the peak and decline of smoking. Women started smoking in the US later, so their trends are kind of lagging behind those of males, but they have also recently peaked and started to decline, which also reflects peaked and declining smoking among women. So this is actually promising news.
And globally, you're seeing an increase in cancer in developing countries. Why is that?
Primarily, it's due to what are typically thought of as Western lifestyle factors. A lot of these developing countries, people are becoming wealthier, having more resources and opportunities, which comes with many great things, but it also comes with some negative health effects. For instance, people are smoking more, or maybe choosing dietary choices that may not be as healthy as the traditional diet, which are increasing excess body weight. Also, we see increased alcohol consumption, which can contribute to some cancers, and decreased physical inactivity.
And what are the leading leading cancers in the developing nations?
In both developed and developing countries, they're generally colorectal, lung, breast, and prostate. But in addition to that, in developing regions, there are some infection-related cancers that are much more common than in developed countries, including liver cancer, stomach cancer, and cervical cancer.
And for breast cancer, are there behavior modifications that can make a difference?
Definitely. Excess body weight is a major contributor to breast cancer. Also, alcohol consumption and physical activity can decrease one's risk of breast cancer.
And is there something similar for prostate cancer, behavior modifications that could help?
Unfortunately, currently there are no known risk factors for prostate cancer that can be modified. So there is a lot of ongoing research now into better ways to detect it early, and also possibly medical ways of preventing it.
And are there any hopeful trends that you see in all this data that you study?
Well, in the case of stomach cancer, we see decreasing mortality rates already, although actually the cause of that is not particularly well understood, but it's thought to be due just to improved sanitation as countries develop, and possibly the use of antibiotics. Most recently, however, there's a lot of research going on that shows that it could be possible to prevent stomach cancer from developing using medical means. The studies are preliminary and more studies are needed, but if this should work, stomach cancer is a major cause of cancer death in many countries worldwide, and it would be a very promising intervention to prevent these deaths.
Thank you.
Thanks.